Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I woke up in a good mood today because even though it's snowing, the sun is out, so it just boosts instantly my energy and I just feel like in a really good place. So I really wanted to hop on quick and do a little collective reading for anyone who happens to breeze past this video and feels drawn to click on it. So what I'm going to do is a collective reading for two separate groups. Group A and Group B. There will be a little intuition exercise that the video will cut to in a minute, and all you've got to do is focus on the green crystal and the blue crystal, purple crystal, and basically meditate over it to decide on where you are intuitively being pulled towards. Whatever you feel the most drawn to, whatever you feel the most comfortable looking at. You may be group green or you may be group purple. There's no right or wrong, it's just wherever you intuitively feel pulled towards. And then all you're going to need to do is skip to the part of the video in which is the group that you felt drawn towards. And when you're ready, put yourself in a comfy place, take a few deep breaths, have a nice warm drink by you or even a nice cold one, and just even spend a few minutes, use this time to sort of ground yourself for the day and meditate a little bit. If you don't usually have time to meditate, use this as your time and just sort of gaze at the screen in front of you and come back when you feel you know which colour you are being drawn towards. This reading in particular is focused around advice and guidance that you might need to know today and throughout this week, or maybe even throughout the month. By the way, please ignore my hair. I toned it yesterday and for some reason it really wanted to put as much blue in as possible on my roots in my fringe. Don't quite know how that happened or why, but we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna roll with it because that's the best way to be. Hello, my green group. You were drawn towards the green, which is Group A. Thank you, welcome, take a seat, sit back, relax. I'm going to basically do a nice little brief guidance and advice reading for you all. Obviously, as this is a collective reading, it's not going to be very precise and specific, so take the messages that resonate and leave the rest for others. If you want a more specific personal reading, then you can book one with me using the links down below, but for now, things that you need to know to move forward this week / today / this month. This is happening in their present situation, please. Woo, busy bees, busy bees. So this group is for the people who have a lot on their to-do list, probably too much, maybe even other people's to-do lists. You've got some of their stuff on your list. However, I don't get the feeling that I don't get the impression that you're stressed while doing it. I would actually say there's a lot of things that you're very enthusiastic that you're doing, and these are things that you're passionate about. And I say that because I got the Queen of Wands next to the Ten of Wands. So although she has a lot of things she wants to do, she has a very sunny disposition while doing it. She's very positive and enthusiastic about it. There's just a lot to do. There's a lot, you know, some people might see what she's doing is a bit of a burden, but actually I think you might enjoy some of it. You see yourself as a bit of a leader, so like maybe you take on board other people's responsibilities because maybe you feel like that's your role, that's what you've got to do, but it's all part of the plan. Like, I guess in a way it's for a lot of people largely focused around something to do with what is necessary in order to get to the next place that you or other people around you need to be, because I did get the travel card. So this could be associated to being on the move or being ready to be on the move and leave behind, you know, something that is no longer interesting to you anymore. So these are responsibilities that need to be done in order to achieve like the next kind of phase or stage in your life. There's a lot of wands here, so this is easily around something to do with where your passions lie. It could even be a heavy amount of enthusiasm around the stuff that you like. I don't see you wanting to sit still. You're like here, there, running around, rah, lots to do, fire everywhere. A lot of you may even be fire signs who picked this one. So what do you need to know to get through this? Because clearly there's a lot going on. Hermit. I feel like a lot of people need to protect themselves a little bit, protect their kind of aura and their energy, because it may be a little vulnerable when so many people are relying on you, or you've just got a lot of things that you're trying to do at once. You might need to maybe organize yourself a little bit more, take some time out to maybe write an action plan rather than just saying I'll do all of it at once. Like you need maybe a bit more of a step-by-step process. It's also about being able to adapt to your situation a little bit better, because I get the impression like sure, the enthusiasm and the passion's there to get something done or to get all these things that you're putting on yourself achieved, but are you able to intelligently adapt to that situation in a way which is wise? I actually feel like, because I got the King of Wands as a piece of advice, he definitely leads by showing others the way something is done. So to me, that's sort of saying maybe don't do the things that other people are asking you to do. Like don't necessarily complete the things that people are asking. Maybe show them how it's done so they're able to do it themselves, because the King of Wands, I always feel he leads by demonstrating stuff. At the same time though, I don't think that will necessarily be too hard for many people, because the card that's sort of representing you is the Queen of Wands, and the advice you got is the King of Wands. So they are very similar in their own ways. The main difference to me is about how the King of Wands is usually represented by a lizard, and a lizard always makes me think of how well they can adapt in any situation. So it's about choosing your approach, maybe changing your approach a little bit. It's not just about piling more things onto your list and hoping that you'll eventually get them done, and you know, it's not about denying the fact that having 5 extra things on top of the 5 things you already had to do is no different. Like it's being aware that you've got more on your plate and you need to kind of work out how you can logically work around that, how you can spread your time out more evenly, how you can make sure all your energy doesn't just go into 2 things, because you might end up tired by the time you get to the next 8. So also, if you feel that you're someone who gets in this situation a lot, who maybe has a lot of responsibilities a lot, or piles their to-do lists up a lot, don't repeat mistakes that you might have made in the past. So if you're feeling like, oh god, here we go again, like this always happens to me, like I always find myself in this place that I'm in right now, the Hermit card to me always says, look back at your history and remember the times that you experienced this before. What did you learn then? What can you do now that's different to what you knew then to deal with the situation better? And that's what the King of Wands is all about as well. Kings started off as pages and moved their way up to knights, so like you need to remember your like experience. Okay, this is also about making sure that you deal with communicating with other people that maybe are expecting a lot from you carefully, because there might be some chances here that you could end up saying something to hurt someone and then realizing that it wasn't worth saying it in the first place, which is kind of why you might need to separate yourself for a little bit before you end up in the heat of the moment when you're stressed and you've got a lot of stuff on your plate, saying something that wasn't right, or saying something that ended up hurting them and wasn't worth it, etc. Like I get that you have your goals and you have your kind of eyes in the distance and you're aware of like what's opening up to you and you really want that and you're very ambitious in wanting to achieve that, and I want you to stay focused on that rather than getting caught in between some nasty discussions or bad communication. It might end up distracting you or holding you back, and so this is about protecting yourself once again from maybe even what other people are likely to say to you that they don't mean, and end up stressing you out or just making the whole situation stressful for like no reason, because these are usually like petty arguments. Whoa. So eventually all of this stuff that I've said will bring you to a place of I see just like opportunity, because you've got the Seven of Cups quite close to the Nine of Cups. So that's achieving the things that you're hoping for and you're wishing for. Probably the stuff that these two cards have in mind. So the reason why she's put so many things in her plate, and the vision that the Three of Wands also has in front of her. So, and I think the main point of what she's trying to achieve is to have more opportunities opening up for her. So it's kind of, in a way, her escape route, and it's her way of achieving a life that is like opening up more for her, because this is where you'll be at the end of all of this, right in front of a lot of opportunities that are there and waiting for her. You'll probably likely feel overwhelmed by how many, but then that allows her to plant a seed of intention to bring in something that she's wanted to bring in, and this is connected very closely to your wishes, your desires, what's most important to you, and you'll be able to like be in a more peaceful environment again. It won't feel like you have as much to do, because maybe you're kind of calmly, quietly tending to the matters that mean the most to you. It's like continuing to add on to the things that you will already manifest. So even after you achieve the wish card, which comes after all the advice that I just gave, you will then continue building, continue working on yourself, working on the things you want to bring in, but working on yourself as well, because temperance is for me is often about self-care and moderation and balance. So she has the time and the space and the energy to not only work on the things she's got to do, but also make sure she has enough like downtime. So it looks optimistic as long as you kind of follow the things I said and you keep focused on that ambition and that drive, because there's so many wands here. I feel like that's there for sure, like without a doubt. I feel like you don't need to be told that. That is your reading. Thank you very much, Green Group. If you enjoyed this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I know to do more pick a card videos. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to be notified every time I make a brand new video. You can follow me on my social medias such as Twitter, Facebook and Instagram if you're interested as well. Thank you. So to my purple groups, you are group number B. Thank you very much for choosing that pile that you felt intuitively drawn towards. This is going to be advice for you in your current situation, what you need to know to go about your day / week / month. A lot of aggressive energy here. Clearly people are quite sure and stubborn and fixated on something that they're trying to achieve. It's likely something against the norm, or trying to make some aggressive, abrupt changes to your situation. You're fixated on using your mind and your words to flip things around a little bit, shake things up. I see people who are very set on this vision and this goal. I see nothing changing your mind. Like it feels very kind of stubborn, but not in a bad way. Like stubborn is usually quite a negative word, but it's more like you just know this is right and it's for the best and it's what you want. And in fact, like because you've got the Magician card, this is the kind of way you want to be when you're manifesting stuff. Like you want to be really sure. You want to have a very pinpoint idea of how things look for you, how you want things to look, like in a very clear-cut way, and I feel like you do. This almost makes me think of someone or something breaking free from a cage to bring in forceful change, because maybe that's what it takes to get out of something that they feel trapped by or stuck in. I don't know if this is heavily associated to something that always has been that way, or something to do with your history or your past, maybe even going back to your childhood or family, like it's breaking free from your family home, or like old ways of life or living, or because I've got the Six of Cups, which is often about going back in time. So it's like Eight of Swords also tells me that there's something about it which holds you back, and maybe you want to propel forward, you want to move elsewhere. So in order to do that, we can pull some advice cards to tell us which way we should approach it, what we should do, how we should deal with that. Advice. These are some big choices that you're making. Like you're probably asking yourself big questions anyway when it comes to this, but as long as you're staying within your own guidelines of what is important to you, particularly in the long run as well, because I feel like some of these choices will end up affecting you long term. So you're really going to have to ask yourself, what is important to me and to my heart and to my soul? Like, what speaks to me on a spiritual level? Like, what warms my heart? This isn't airy fairy stuff. Like, I've got the Lovers card, so it's big choices regarding what you believe will benefit your life for good. Choices, making choices that are right for who you are and what you believe and what you stand by. I've also got the Three of Cups as well. I feel like there's something to do with connecting to other people, and there is maybe someone else involved in your situation, which as advice is basically saying to stay close with those that mean a lot to you and that have your best intentions at heart. Maybe stay within the people that you vibe with and resonate with. Maybe that's something to do with the changes that you're trying to make in terms of like making new connections, meeting new people who kind of free your spirit and free your soul. I know it sounds a bit deep, but like it's cutting connections from maybe your family, not necessarily cutting, but like it's that transition from like family upbringing to like finding your crew, your vibe, your people, like the family that you choose, aka your friends. So express with one another, express to those close to you, the people that mean a lot to you. Express how you feel, not just as feelings for each other and how you feel about one another, but also about your ideas. Like, express these changes that you want to make with other people, and make sure you're celebrating the things that you want to achieve with other people as well, because you'll actually find common ground, I feel like, with people around you who are willing to celebrate and egg you on and like pat you on the back when you get there. And also there's people around you that just have your back regardless. You just need to be willing to talk to them and ask them for help when and if you need it. But I think mostly it's just making you aware that you have their support, and their support could actually really help push you along the way, give you that willpower which the Magician needs. I mean, the Magician has enough willpower on his own, and to manifest things you only need yourself, but you know, the support from others goes a long ass way. Look how powerful these cards look together. You've got blessings around you in the form of humans. This is definitely about something that holds you down and back, because you've got the Devil card as advice. As advice, the Devil card always just says it's not actually as scary and as of a big deal as you maybe believe it is. The chains around those people's necks, as I always say, are a lot looser than they may initially seem. They do actually have the power to take them right from their neck, pull the chain off and walk away from the thing that might seem like it's big and scary. And maybe also the Lovers card as a piece of advice is actually saying move forward with love. This isn't necessarily about cutting ties aggressively or leaving something behind out of bitterness for the Devil, you know, because it seems big and scary doesn't mean you should leave on a bad note. It's more about like being soft and gentle with the way that you leave this chapter behind and leave, you know, the thing that held you back behind. So doing it from the choice of love for yourself, because you know it's for the best, but also when it comes to the thing itself that you're moving from, you kind of have to do it in a way that's positive, because that's how you make the Devil look smaller. That's how you stop the Devil from sneaking up again in your life. Like, you need to see this chapter as a celebration rather than something that you should be fearing. It's more like, instead of saying like I hate you for holding me back, or I hate you for making me feel the things that you make me feel, and this could be around anything like addiction or relying on something too much in your life, something that maybe even a scary boss or a scary person, or like a mum, a dad, someone like that just hold you down, hold you back. Instead of saying like I hate you for making me feel these ways, or I resent you for like doing what you've done to me, or giving me the life that makes me feel trapped, it's more saying like I don't need your energy around anymore. Like, I'm sorry that you have your own issues going on, which is why you need to make other people feel small. You know, I'm sorry that you're projecting your own problems on other people, etc. It's like moving forward with forgiveness, I think is the word I'm trying to say here, and staying on top of those emotions that could very easily overtake you and eat you up. So we move forward. Yes, after this we've got the strength card. You're going to feel so courageous and bold after this move. You're going to feel like you can conquer the world. This card's gone under the sofa. Wow, you're going to feel like a warrior. It's not going to be easy. I feel like you might come out of the situation feeling like strong and courageous, but also you'll feel a little bit bashed and bruised. But you'll have the kind of war wounds to look back on and be like, I did that. Like, they will tell a story, but it's, you know, she has been through it a little bit, so it's not going to be the easiest, but she'll definitely feel prepared for anything that is ever to come afterwards. So those two together are so powerful. Look at these two females. Yes, I love that. They're like, yep, no, like no one's going to come near them, because they will be so scared that they'll get their head chopped off, because they likely will. So it looks good when it comes to future stuff. It seems like you'll achieve exactly what you want. 9 of Cups, your wishes, your desires. So actually both of the groups that you could have picked today both seem really positive in terms of what you will achieve in the future, because you both got the 9 of Cups, and that's achieving your hopes and wishes and your desires. It's just both of them differ slightly in their approach in how they can achieve that exactly, and I'm excited for you basically. So best of luck. I hope that this gives you the kind of boost and the drive that you needed to push forward in that new direction, and to keep focused on that clear, precise goal that you have for yourself. You'll get there. You'll achieve it. And the stronger you keep that vision in your mind, the more likely it is to happen exactly as you'd hoped. So keep those visualizations crystal clear. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, do give me a thumbs up so I know to do more pick a pile style videos. I'm on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I also have a Patreon if you want to support me on there. Thank you to my top patrons for supporting me in all the ways that you do. Bye.